Okay, next up I'm going to do problems 7 and 8 of 2.3. Let's just start by writing it down. X to the 2r plus 8x to the r z plus 16z squared. 16z squared. One thing you may be wondering about is the 2r. That's just happens when you have xr times xr. You always add exponents when you've got two numbers or variables being multiplied. Just how x to the 3 times x to the 4 would be x to the 7, because essentially x to the 3 just means x times x times x, and x to the 4 means x times x times x times x. And if you multiply them together, I'm trying to fix that x. If you multiply them together like that, you've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's all being multiplied together. That's why we add exponents. So anyway, this is x to the r. We don't know what r is, but when you multiply x to the r times x to the r, you've got x to the 2 r's. So anyway, let's move on from that. This is another perfect square trinomial. There's just more numbers and variables going on to confuse you, but let's just work through it. X to the r, we've discussed that, and there will be another x to the r. On the end, knowing it's a perfect square, you've got this is a perfect square number, this is a perfect square number. 16z squared can be rooted to make 4z, just like that. So we're going to have, when we work it out and check it, we'll have x to the 2r plus 4z plus 4z plus 16z squared. So your middle term is going to be 8z, just like it was. I'm sorry. Put those together. X to the r times x to the r is 2r, and then I didn't do my x to the r times 4z. So that'd be 4z x to the r, and another 4z x to the r, plus 16z squared. And then when you add them up, that's going to equal what it was at top, 8. Put my x first, x to the r z, both of those made that 8, plus 16z squared. So your middle term is, I just want you to remember this rule, it's 2 times this root, xr, times this root, 4z. Let's see if that pattern worked out for this one. 2 times 4 is 8, xr to the r times z, 8x to the rz. Yes, so just remember that rule. That really makes them easier to recognize when you're having to, say, fill in a blank, when they give you a problem where they don't tell you what this one is, say, or don't tell you what this one is. So anyway, our factored version would be just x to the r plus 4z squared. Okay, let's do problem 8. 2a to the 4th plus 4a squared b squared plus 2b to the 4th. This one's different. This is still a perfect, well, this is the perfect square. I can see that all of these can have a 2 factored out of them. So let's do that first. 2 times a to the 4th plus 2a squared b squared plus, that's been factored out, b to the 4th. So there we go. This isn't your typical, you're used to just seeing an x squared or an a squared or something squared. This is just a2. That's really just a2 squared. So its root would be just an a2. The middle is 2 times the root of this side times the root of that side. Just bringing that back to that pattern right there, because that's going to help us in the next few problems. So anyway, let's work on just factoring this. A squared plus b squared. This one's pretty simple. Times a squared plus b squared. Let's check that work before we circle our answer. Be 2 times a to the 4th plus this one times this one, a squared b squared plus another a squared b squared plus b to the 4th. Yes, it's 2a squared b squared, just like it was there, a to the 4th, b to the 4th. It all works out. So the correct way to have written this factored perfect square trinomial would be 2 times a squared plus b squared squared. That squared. Okay. And now